All right, today we're tackling a really fascinating story. A huge wave of millionaires packing their bags and leaving the UK. So let's get right into it and figure out exactly what's going on.
So why is a millionaire leaving the UK every 45 minutes? I mean, that statistic is just staggering, right? But believe it or not, it's really happening. These numbers are pointing to a massive, dramatic shift for the UK's wealthiest people, who are, well, pretty actively searching for a new place to call home.
Yeah, one every 45 minutes. This isn't just a slow trickle, It's a full-on exodus, and it's being driven by some really fundamental game-changing shifts in the UK's tax landscape. These changes are making it, let's just say, incredibly difficult to plan for the long term if you've got significant wealth.
Okay, so let's break down the problem here. What is this perfect storm that's causing high net worth individuals to leave the UK? Well, it really boils down to two main things: a massive, century-old tax rule getting thrown out the window, and this growing feeling of economic instability. It's a potent mix for investors and entrepreneurs.
So, for more than 100 years, this thing called non-dom status was like the cornerstone of financial planning for anyone international living in the UK. It was actually pretty simple. You could live in the UK, but you only had to pay UK tax on the money you made in the UK. Any foreign income, that was exempt.
Well, that old system, it's been completely thrown out. It's gone. The new reality is that if you're a UK resident, you're now going to be taxed on your worldwide income. This is a huge deal. It's a system much more like what they have in the US, and it means everything, from business profits you make overseas to dividends from foreign stocks, is now on the table for the UK taxman. And this quote from a Cyprus tax advisor just hits the nail on the head. It derails tax planning of the rich, and the rich don't like this. I mean, that's really the heart of it, isn't it? This one single change has basically dismantled financial strategies that took decades to build. It's like the entire ground is shifted from underneath them almost overnight.
But, it's not just about the non-dom rule. It's a whole pileup of push factors. You've got a potential global inheritance tax of up to a whopping 40%. The tax-free allowance for capital gains, that's been slashed from over £12,000 down to just $3,000. Add in high inflation, rising costs, there's this general feeling that the wealthy are being targeted and more tax hikes are probably coming. It all adds up.
So with all these push factors in the UK, where are people looking? What's the solution? For a growing number, the answer is Cyprus. It's really emerging as this pro-business hub with some incredibly powerful tax incentives. It's becoming the go-to strategic advantage.
Okay, let's just put it side by side. The UK versus Cyprus. I mean, look at this. Inheritance tax in the UK, up to 40%. In Cyprus, 0. Corporate tax, 25% in the UK, but just 12.5% in Cyprus, literally half. And dividend tax for non-doms, 0 again? The numbers, well, they speak for themselves, don't they? It's a pretty compelling financial argument. So when you put it all together, these benefits create this incredibly powerful framework for preserving your wealth. Just to recap, we're talking 0 inheritance tax, 0 dividend tax if you have non-dom status there, a super low 12.5% corporate tax rate, and on top of all that, you can trade securities, stocks, bonds, you name it, completely tax-free. Wow.
But look, it's not just about the tax numbers. That's a huge part of it for sure. But Cyprus also offers this really stable and, familiar environment. The legal system is based on common law, just like in the UK. English is spoken pretty much everywhere. It's a very pro-business, secure place, which makes the transition a lot smoother and more comfortable for people coming from Britain.
All right, so the why seems pretty clear, right? So now for the big question. What about the how? Let's dive into the different pathways you can take to actually make this new life happen and secure your residency in Cyprus.
Okay, option 1, and this is the most popular one by far, the Permanent Resident Program. It's a pretty straightforward deal. You need to invest at least €300,000. That can be in property, in local Cypriot companies, or in funds. You do that, and you get a fast-track residency permit for you and your whole family. It gives you a secure, permanent base right there in the EU. Next up, for the entrepreneurs out there, there's the Business Creation or BCS visa. This one's for people who want to start their own company from the ground up. The requirement here is a €200,000 investment to create your company. The big benefit? You're the director, you're the shareholder, you have full control over your business operations in Cyprus. Then there's option 3, the Digital Nomad Visa. This is perfect for remote workers. The main rule is you have to be working for a company that isn't in Cyprus, and your clients can't be in Cyprus either.
It lets you live that great Cyprus lifestyle while keeping your current remote job. Just one thing to keep in mind, though. This program has a limited number of spots, so you have to act fast.
Now, this next part is absolutely crucial. To actually get these tax benefits, you have to become a Cyprus tax resident. And this is where Cyprus has a major ace up its sleeve. Most countries have a 183-day rule, meaning you have to spend half the year there. But Cyprus has a special 60-day rule. Yep, just 60 days a year, as long as you're running a business there and you're not a tax resident anywhere else. That is a massive advantage.
Okay, but here comes the really important part, a warning, if you will. There are some non-negotiable rules. See, making the move isn't just about landing in Cyprus with your visa. The single most critical part of this whole process is making sure you have, properly and legally, left the UK. And again, listen to the experts on this. Kyriakos Giordanos says you need to make sure that you know inside out your exit laws. This is without a doubt the most critical piece of advice you can get. You have to understand the UK's rules for ceasing to be a tax resident. If you get this wrong, the whole move could be for nothing.
So, what exactly are these UK exit laws? Well, they're basically a set of rules the UK uses to decide if they still consider you a tax resident, even if you've moved. They look at your key ties to the country. Do you still own a home there? Are your kids still in a UK school? Do you still have an active UK business? And here's the risk. If you don't properly sever enough of these ties, the UK can and will continue to tax your global income even while you're living in Cyprus. It completely defeats the whole purpose.
So there is a pre-move playbook, and you have to follow it to the letter. The order here is absolutely non-negotiable. Step 1, and you do this first, before anything else, hire a UK tax exit expert. Step 2, you follow their advice on how to restructure your assets and businesses. Step 3, then you use a vetted, licensed immigration firm in Cyprus. And step 4, make sure your UK expert and your Cyprus expert are talking to each other. They need to be on the same page.
And this slide really spells it out. You need to build the right team. You want to be working with vetted, licensed experts, regulated firms with proven track records. What you need to avoid are the risky agents, the shady operators, the DIY approach, or someone who's just cheap and popular but doesn't have the proper licenses. I mean, think about it. You wouldn't let an unlicensed doctor perform surgery on you, right? The same thing applies here. Your entire financial future is on the line.
At the end of the day, this whole story is about more than just the UK and Cyprus. It's part of a much bigger global shift in how countries are thinking about and taxing wealth. And that leaves us with a final, really important question that anyone planning for their future should be asking. As global tax laws keep shifting and changing, is your personal and business strategy actually built to last?